Hi, Eric Gibaud, Gibaud.com, and today it's raining in the city of Metz, and I am in front of Digiphoto, the shop that lent me this camera, the Sony Alpha 7 Mark IV with the lens 24 to 105 f4. So I'm going to speak about it, but I don't know what you think, but I think it would be better to be inside. Okay, so let's step in and see this in details. Let's start. Believe me or not, I feel a lot better indoor, honestly, okay? So thanks to Digiphoto for this, honestly, because it's really hard for me to get cameras to show, okay? So I'm really happy to present this tool, because this is a tool, and great tool, but the thing is the possibility of this camera are so massive, so there are so many possibilities that I have to choose to do three types of video. One would be a short one, like an advert. I don't want to do that. The second would be mid-range, and the third option would be a really long video speaking about every feature, every possibilities, and it would last for maybe 2 hours. Okay, so we're gonna step into something mid-range that would be my sensation, my feeling, and the main features. Okay, but this camera is really so crazy things you can do with it, so it could last hours. Okay, so let's carry on. Well, my first impression when I opened the box, okay, I made a review of the Alpha 7 III. I'll leave you the link here, and I said it was a great tool, but I would not fall in love with that camera. When I had it in my hand, I didn't have a great feeling. It was a great tool, great features, but I don't know, there was not like, I don't know, I will explain. Okay, so when I opened the box of this one, the story is completely different. First thing you want to do is to use it as a hammer. It's built like a tank. This is full metal. This is impressive. The weight field, the weight holds is incredible. So for the first time, I must say that I've got special feelings with a full frame Sony camera. I love the A6000 series, okay, I like it, but it's a different philosophy. But this one, the feeling is you have a powerful tool in your hand, and this is something really special. And when you hold it, you want to make pictures. And for me, this is key. When you get a camera, you must have the feeling that you want to use it, okay? And this one, that was the sensation I got, okay? Maybe it's time for me to say, Eric, Sony doesn't only make Walkmans. I mean, that was a long time ago, Walkman. And yeah, they make great cameras. I knew that, but this time I've got the special feelings. I love it. Well, if you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This really helps me. So companies and brands lend me gear so I can present it on the channel. So thank you for doing it. Let's carry on with this Sony. Well, before diving into data, we're going to have a look at the camera itself, okay? Nice camera, you hold in your hand, really nice feeling, okay? Here you have many buttons, well placed. Here you have a front wheel for aperture or shutter speed, you decide. Same thing on the back, so you can configure as you want. Here you have to trigger, switch on. Here the press button to start recording. Here there's a small I press a small button here, and then I can turn this wheel and decide if I'm going to use the camera for video or for photography, which is really good. So I have separate things, okay? Here you have a fantastic wheel with a lock on it, and this wheel you can use it for anything you want, like compensation or ISO or whatever. You set it as you want, okay? If we look at the button, here you have a joystick, here you have a pad, more function button, same thing. Here is the screen. And the screen is, you can orient it sideways. Many photographers don't like this, okay? They prefer a flip like this way, not sideways, and they think that every videographer is doing vlogging with that. And it's not actually always the idea. Many people, when they do video, they want to have this on the side, hold it this way, check here, and the good thing, when your screen is away from the camera, you have less overheating problems. So this is a good point to have the screen on the side. Well, this camera is really thought for photography and for videography, okay? Not exclusively one or the other, because the video features are really advanced and many people will use it only for video, and sometimes they want a hybrid to use one side or the other side, or not at the same time, obviously, but on the way make picture and video. So they have many features in here, okay? So as you can see, every button is you can set as you want. It's obviously weather sealed. This is why it's going to be hard for me to open for connectivity. Here it's well protected, so it's a bit hard, okay, to open, but that's good, okay. And the first thing you're going to notice, you have a full-size HDMI connector, which is what a videographer really wants, because they want a solid connector. And here you have a headphone, microphone, USB-C, so you can connect to a power bank or any other thing that uses USB-C, but they also here they put a micro USB for other kind of accessories. So as you can see, this is something really full of possibilities and organization. It's true that I would love to have a small screen here. I reviewed the Nikon Z6 Mark II. I'll leave you the link here. That has a small screen on it. On top, I like it, but well, they don't put it. Sony doesn't seem to like this on this range of camera, but well, that's not a massive problem. Okay, if we get to the memory card, if I open here, really good door, really well locked, really well protected. Here you have a memory card, SD, UHS 2, and also CF Express A. Okay, so if you want to do like a 4K video or a really high burst rate raw photography, CF Express A format is welcome. Otherwise you could use SD UHS 2. Okay, but this is the visit of this camera, which is a nice camera. Okay, so let's carry on. Although this video is about the camera, I'm going to tell a few words about this lens. This is the 24 to 105 mm f4 G. Okay, honestly, I was surprised. This is a really good lens. I did some night photography, you will see, and I know f4 is not that really open, okay, not that luminous, but still with this camera behind the lens, that's no problem, okay. And I noticed that at f4 the quality is already really good. You don't really need to close that much the aperture to get better results, okay. And this is probably a great combo for everyday or travel combo, camera and lens. Obviously this is not small, but when you get this, you know that you're not going to use really small lenses. But I think this 24-105 is opens a lot of possibility using just one lens. Okay, so nice thing. Maybe you're asking, when am I getting the information about the megapixel and all this? Well, right now. It has 33 million pixels. This is a mirrorless camera, no mirror, and as it sounds, okay. And it is full frame, 24 by 36 more or less, okay. And millimeter the size, okay. It has a 14 bits color depth, and well, this is a Sony E mount, and this body is stabilized. That's an IBIS, okay. I had the stabilization on the lens, but also in the body. 5.5 stops on 5 axes, okay. Obviously, I'm not objective with this, because when you've used Olympus IBIS on their camera, it sounds like I'm paid by Olympus, but it's not the case. All other IBIS seems to be a bit lousy to me, okay? But still, I think it's not bad. Okay, so I'll show you an example, what I recorded. It's not as smooth as like a special flow with the IBIS, but you check for yourself and you give your own opinion, okay? IBIS test, walking slowly at waist level, and the sound is the one from the camera. So let's look at the size and the weight. It weighs, 658 grams, which is fine for that kind of camera. The build, all this, the way it is. The size, 13 centimeters here, 96 here, and the thickness, well, depends what size. Okay, about maybe 4 something centimeters. I think the size is really nice for that kind of camera. For some people with a big hand, maybe it will bother them that your small finger is out of the grip, okay? Well, I think many people who really want to get a better grip, they get a vertical grip anyway, but that's the way it is on most of cameras of this type, okay? So I think that's okay. For being full frame, for being all metal, for the way what it offers, I think this is a nice size, so it's not massive. Maybe someone with a really big hand will feel it's a bit small, I'm not sure, okay? But for me, that's okay. One thing I think is a lot better than the Alpha 7 III is the viewfinder. yeah, I think it's nicer. You have a two-speed, I mean, refresh rate, 60 or 120 frame per second, 60 or 100 hertz. And honestly, I think it looks nicer than the Alpha 7 III. And one thing many people ask me, is it a problem with your glasses? I don't know, because for me, although I always use my glasses, I never had problem with any cameras, so I'm not a good judge for that. So for me, the viewfinder, yes, is a lot better than the one before. When they speak about camera features, they always tell us the nicest thing, and they forget to tell us or read us the small print, okay? Well, they said this camera has 10 frames per second, shooting RAW. Yes, but it's RAW or JPEG, but compressed RAW, not uncompressed, lossless compression RAW, okay? This is important, okay? If you want to shoot lossless or uncompressed RAW, in this case, it's down to 5 frames per second, okay? Which is not a problem for me, but many people, maybe they think they're getting a Sony A1, and that is not a Sony A1 or close to it for that, okay? So it's important you know it. Well, when they speak to you about Sony, they start blah, 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 ISO, they're great at high ISO, low light photography, and blah, 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 all the time. So I say, okay, come on, let's go out, let's go by night in Metz and have a look how the city looks with high ISO, or if it works, okay? And, well, honestly, that's a lot of blah, 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 blah about this, and I have to be honest. Honestly, I've tested, and honestly, it's true. They're good. They're good, honestly. So they go 90 from 100 to 50, 1200 ISO, and then you can force them to 50, down to 50, or up to 204,800 ISO. Honestly, up to 12,800 ISO, I think you don't need cleaning. It's good. That's fine. From then on, yeah, maybe you need some kind of cleaning. Obviously, if you go to 204,800 ISO, this is useless, except for paparazzi that needs to just have the shape of someone. That's it, and not much more, okay? But otherwise, up to 12,800, that's fine. I think I would say they are one stop better than clean wise, okay, than some competitors I've seen, okay? 12,800, sometimes you need a bit of cleaning. In this case, I would say no, okay? So yeah, I think they're really good. And 25,000, they're usable completely also with a bit of cleaning, okay? But not much. Yeah, it is really a good camera if you need high ISO. I don't like ISO. I prefer to have my own lighting, flash or whatever. But when you make picture of a river or picture of a cathedral or whatever, it's impossible to have a flash to light that. So you need high ISO at night times, and there it works. That's fine. Now we're going to speak about the autofocus. Well, actually, I could do a video of about 1 hour speaking just about the autofocus, how to configure it, the possibilities, single, continuous, detecting faces, people, animal, all this. It would take hours, okay? And honestly, I'm going to make a short version of it. Basically, it's impossible to miss. Low light, against light, strange light, fast action, slow action, whatever. It works all the time, okay? This is probably the best autofocus I've tested so far. Really great, really great. So honestly, nothing to say, okay? So end of the recap of the autofocus part. Yes, just read the manual if you have this camera to know how to configure it. But honestly, I don't think it will let you down. No problem. Yeah, one thing about the autofocus in video. There's one feature I really liked. It's actually, your screen is split in three, I would say. You have blue, orange, that define where you have you're in front of the focus point, in blue where you're behind, or the other way around, I can't remember. And the part that is actually in focus, you see the real color. So if I make an object video, for example, a video of an object, when it's in focus, I see the object is real color, and I see what is out of focus, behind or in front, okay? So I think it will bother if you use it all the time for anything, but for some kind of video, this feature is fantastic. So I didn't capture the screen when I do it, but that works really well, and this is really precise to visually see if you are in focus in the right area in video, okay? One thing that many of us have criticized from Sony is the color science. But it's a couple of cameras now, or third one or fourth one now, that they fixed it. So honestly, I think this camera has great colors. The color science is precise. I've used automatic white balance, daytime, nighttime, and what I've obtained is what I saw. Okay, so I would say that now it seems that Sony really worked on that and they fixed it. So yes, the color science in this camera is fine, is great. You get nice colors, realistic colors, not this crazy thing. Oh, my beard is my beard. Okay, nothing to do with Sony. Okay, but yeah, honestly, well, anyway, I'm recording on an iPhone, not on the camera. Okay, but yeah, they really fixed it. Shutter speed, well, standard from 30 seconds up to 1/8,000th of a second, plus electronic shutter, plus bulb mode to have a more faster or more time. Okay, so nothing different from the competition, I would say. Okay, now let's speak about the flash synchro. 1/250th of a second, which is fine, but I don't know if you know, this is a full frame camera. You can put not just full frame lenses, but also APS-C lenses. In this case, you have a crop, but when you use it this way, then the flash synchro is can be up to 1/320th of a second. That may be interesting for what you do. Okay, so just to let you know. Okay. So let's speak about video. But first of all, one thing that I made actually a video about this, I'll leave you a link here. There is a mistake, not really a mistake, a decision by Sony, that when you want to pick your frame rate for your video, some frame rate do not appear. You want to be on 24 frame per second video, and it's not there. You have 25, you have 50, you don't have 30, you don't have 120, you don't have 60. You say, where are they? Okay, well, basically Sony cameras, they split NTSC system and PAL system. Some other brands do it, but some other they have everything together. Okay, so if you're on you start your menu and you check for 24 frames per second, it's not there. You see 25, it's because you are in PAL system and not on NTSC system. So change the system on the camera and the menu, and you will see the other speed available frame rates. Okay, so that's important. So in 4K you can do, depending on if you're on PAL or NTSC, you can do 60, 50, 30, 25 and 24 frames per second. They're really important. In 4K, if you're on 60 or 50 frames per second, there is a crop of 1.5. Well, that cuts a lot. Okay, so it depends what you need. There is a technical explanation with this camera. I know that they have other camera with no crop, okay, but well, that's the way it is, so you know it. Okay, if you're in full HD, you have 120, 160, 50, 30, 25 and 24 frames per second, from slow motion to cine look. Okay, important, maybe you don't know what I'm speaking about, it's 4 to 10 bits. Okay, if you don't know what I'm speaking about, probably you don't need it. And if you know what I'm speaking about, because maybe you were searching for this information, yes, it does 422. Okay, so this is the format. Okay, then you have the log profile, log 2, log 3 and cinetone, and they have more things. So if you're really interested in video, there are some people who've made better video about this, more extensive. It could take an hour to speak about this. Okay, so I will not say much more about video. But yes, there's one feature I really like, is to avoid focus breathing. You know that sometimes when you want to make the focusing in your video, you see the side that actually moves this way. It's like breathing, okay? Well, they have a system that avoids it. It actually crops a bit, and the breathing, the movement stays out of the video, and the frame is fixed like this, corrected, okay? So this is a really fantastic feature. I know it crops a bit, but this is a good feature. But beware. It doesn't work with every lenses. It works with some Sony lenses, only Sony lenses. There is a list of compatible lenses, and it doesn't work with third-party lenses. So just you to know. But this feature seems to me really nice. Okay, so for me that's the end for the video part, because it would be a lot more extensive to speak about it. This is really full of features, and I think there are some YouTubers that will speak a lot better about this. Okay, so my conclusion. Well, honestly, this camera is amazing. This is a fantastic camera. It's not just for photography, it's also for videography. I think it's for both, depending on what you want to do. It's a great video tool, a great photography tool. I think it's great tool, works nice, nice build, nice sensation. Okay, when I reviewed the A7 III, I was convinced about it as a tool, but not as my feeling. Okay, this time I would say if I needed a full frame camera, I would seriously, really seriously think about this one, because for this budget, okay? Because I think this is a really precise tool. I would say almost a weapon, you know. You just point and shoot, you don't miss, okay? So really, I think no one would be disappointed with this camera. You can prefer other camera or whatever, but this one is, someone who buys this will be happy. I'm convinced, okay? So yeah, I recommend it completely. If you're interested in getting one, I'll leave you links in the description where you can buy it, okay? So, thank you so much, Digit Photo, for lending me the camera. Thank you very much to you for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Small button down here is a small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. Also leave you links of my gear on Amazon, links of everything I reviewed by K&F Concept, Sandmark, and Flashes by Westcott, and also a link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.